Potato wedges. Everybody likes them. And what if you could just do them at home, nice and easy without a lot of hassle? Well, the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL comes with a recipe book that has a recipe for potato wedges. I'm going to give that a shot and we're going to see how they turn out. I'm Darnell with Wave Oven Recipes and we're going to get started with that right now. Alright, so I have myself here a few potatoes. Two of them are kind of like medium sized, one of them is kind of really small, so like almost 2.5 potatoes there. I've got some seasoning. I'm going to be using Old Bay seasoning just because, as you know, if you watch this channel, I'll throw Old Bay on almost anything. And nothing in this video is sponsored. I'm also going to be using some extra virgin olive oil. So just going to get the cap off that. But what I'm going to do to start, I'm going to get these potatoes each chopped up in kind of a wedge form. So just going to slice this one down and then just kind of cut it in half here. Well, cut it in a quarter here. And then I'm going to cut it down to about 1/8. And I'll probably go with, for my wedges, I'll go with 1/8 size wedges. So just cut them like that. And just cut these. And so just going to keep on with slicing these. Alright, so got my potatoes all sliced up, and of course since they came in a bag covered in dirt, pretty much, made sure I washed them off really well before, cleaned them really good before slicing them up and such. So just something to point out. Going to pour my extra virgin olive oil over these and just going to give them a good amount of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL started. Going to switch things to air fry. Going to take my temp down to 400 degrees Fahrenheit even. The recipe recommends 18 minutes, and I'll link to the recipe book in the video description, but I'm going to do 19 minutes just in case they're not done at 18 minutes. I can continue things further. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start on that, and while that's preheating, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mix these potato wedges up really good in my oil so that they get fully covered and coated with the oil, because that will not only help with the flavor profile, it'll also help the seasonings to stick really well. That's another reason you want to put the oil in there when you cook your fries, your potato wedges. To me, any cut form of potato other than just a half a potato is like fries. So, excuse me if I, instead of calling them potato wedges, call them some form of fries as I go along with this, just out of habit. But, it's all fries to me. Different size fries. So, I'm going to get my Old Bay seasoning in there. Try and get that covered in there real good. Try and get a good amount out of here. And, Old Bay, if you haven't had Old Bay on fries before, man, I'm telling you, try Old Bay on your fries. It tastes great. Old Bay on fries tastes really good. That's something, if you haven't tried it, highly recommend it. You probably will always eat Old Bay on your fries every time you have fries after you try some Old Bay on your fries. And being from Baltimore, I don't know if there's any of you from Baltimore, but something that they sell up there in Baltimore, they sell like crab chips. They sell potato chips in Old Bay seasoning. Old Bay goes really good on like chips and fries. It tastes really good on potato type products. So that's some good stuff. Now I've got these, tossed in my oil. Got a bunch of my Old Bay on them as well. I'm going to go ahead and start laying these out on my crisper tray now. So feeling I should only need one crisper tray, so I'm just going to basically make this work, try and get them all to fit on a single crisper tray. And I think it'll work out okay. Got them kind of with that skin side down, facing upward. Some of them are bigger than others, so some are going to cook faster than others. Now, one interesting thing about this recipe, the recipe book does not recommend spinning these halfway through. I'm going to spin them halfway through just to ensure that both sides get cooked evenly. Sometimes, the back end of a cooker may cook differently than the front, and the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL is no exception. So I'll probably be spinning these after about 9 minutes to spin the crisper pan around, the crisper tray around. So got all of these on, got a lot of pieces of potato wedges there. Once the preheat's done, we'll get them in. And while the preheat's still going, I'm just going to put a little extra sprinkle of my Old Bay on these just to give them a little extra. And we hear our preheat is complete, so just gonna give them a little more. And now I'm going to hit pause, turn back to that 19 minutes even, and I'm gonna go ahead and get things open, get things inside. Got my baking pan under there to catch all the drippings of oil that'll fall off and such. And here I'll put that back there to help. I can get this in without difficulty. Let's see. Baking pan keeps moving as I press in. Baking pan sliding up. There we go. Whoa, I lost my pizza tray fell down. Alright, a little technical difficulty there. Good thing this baking pan's not too hot. It's a little warm, but it's not too hot. Slide that back up there. I'm just going to put them up top to stop the fighting. Put them up on top instead of trying to put them where the recipe book recommends. I usually put things a lot of times up top anyway. But hit start with that, and I'll bring you on back in a bit. Alright, so 9 minutes have passed, and I'm going to go ahead and hit pause and spin this crisper tray around. So hitting pause there. I'm going to spin it. That's how they look so far. 9 minutes in. Let's get that right back in there. I'm going to hit start again and let it run for another 9 minutes, then I'll bring you back. Alright, things have been going for another 9 minutes, and so that's been 18 minutes total. I'm going to hit pause there. I'm going to try and get in here. I want to just, out of curiosity, test the temperature of one of these just to see how hot they are. So stick that in. I see them at like 186, 187, which is, pretty good and hot. I think that's good to go for what we want. So at this point, I'm just going to basically take these and going to use my tongs and just try and get them all off into this bowl here. But I think the temperature seems, pretty good. I guess we could have cooked them till they got into the hundreds of degree range, but 200 plus degree range, but I think we're going to be pretty good with that. I think it probably works out as intended for the recipe. So I'm just going to take them all off and we'll give them a shot at the old taste test and such. See, some of these smaller ones probably got a little more fry than some of the bigger pieces, just depending, But I'm going to try and just go with this, since the big one that I temperature tested was like 185 or so. All of them are probably generally well cooked, I'm assuming. I'm going to take these couple here, put them on my plate for taste test purposes. And with that, we've got them all out. We're all done. And so let's show you a couple of these here, and we'll do a taste test. All right, so here's our waffle fries, hot out the air fryer. Let's do a taste of this one. All right, they're good. It's cooked through and through. You know, it's a tender bite. It's not a crunchy bite because it's, you know, a big potato wedge, but it was done fully. So the recipe turns out good. Everything turned out really nice and well. And I'm definitely happy with the outcome here. And, you know, just 18 minutes and you've got yourself some nicely done potato wedges that you did yourself. You didn't have to go out and pay anybody else to do them for you. And they're air fried, so they weren't cooked in, you know, a bunch of boiling hot grease, just swimming in grease, you know, like, you know, just swimming in a whole bunch of fat and grease. You know, that isn't as good for you as just air frying and put a little extra virgin olive oil in them is, you know, a little bit more helpful in that regard. So it all turns out really good. And you can find other recipes for this Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL and other air fryers and such on my blog at superwaveovenrecipes.com. You can always come to this YouTube channel by going to waveovenrecipes.com. Twitter and Instagram also Wave Oven Recipes. And also, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Check the video description. There's like referral links for the smaller version of this cooker and other ways to help this channel. Also, you can subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, hit that notification bell, and good eating.